Michigan English Test. Test 1001. Listening section instructions. In this section of the test, you will show your ability to understand spoken English. There are 3 parts in this section with special directions for each part. Mark all your answers on the separate answer sheet. Do not make any stray marks on the answer sheet. If you change your mind about an answer, erase your first answer completely. If you do not know the answer, you may guess. Try to answer as many questions as possible. Part 1. In this part of the test, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about it. Choose the best answer to the question from the choices printed in the test booklet and mark your answer on the separate answer sheet. You should mark A, B, C, or D. There are 19 questions in Part 1. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. Please listen carefully. Now, turn the page. Number 1.
Excuse me, do you know what time bus number 8 is supposed to be here?
5 minutes ago.
Does that mean that I've missed it?
No, it's just late. Probably because of construction on Main Street.
What does the woman say about the bus?
Number 2.
Are you going to watch the parade tomorrow?
Yeah, my kids have been looking forward to it for weeks.
Mine too. So are you going to drive down to the city or take the train?
Definitely the train. Traffic and parking will be a nightmare.
What will the woman probably do the following day?
Number 3.
Did Sophie order a new microwave for the office kitchen?
I hope so.
I've been spending way too much money getting lunch from places around the neighborhood.
I've been bringing cold sandwiches. With this weather, though, it'd be nice to have a hot meal.
What does the woman hope to do? Number 4.
Excuse me, Professor Smith. I've corrected all of today's quizzes. What should I do with them now?
Enter the grades into the computer, and then when that's done, you can put them in the box outside my office. The students will be expecting them there tomorrow.
Okay, I'll get to it right now.
What will the students do tomorrow? Number 5.
Welcome to Phone Mart. How can I help you today?
I've been having some trouble with my phone. The battery runs down really quickly.
Yeah, that's been a problem with that model. I'd suggest getting one of these newer phones.
Well, actually, I have insurance for this phone, so I think there's a better solution than that.
What does the woman most likely want to do? Number 6.
I heard there's been some kind of change in the company's health insurance coverage. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, and my supervisor and I were both taken aback by the news. I just found out that they're increasing the monthly cost by $100.
That's a lot of money. I wonder what prompted that decision.
Apparently, a lot of other companies are doing the same thing.
How did the man feel when he heard the news? Number 7.
Excuse me, I'm all turned around. I thought I was headed toward the subway station, but maybe not.
You are turned around. It's actually about 4 blocks down that street.
What does the woman imply about the man? Number 8.
Are you ready for tomorrow's presentation for English class?
Well, as ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
You're going to be great. You've been working on it for weeks.
We'll see about that.
How does the man feel? Number 9.
I think we need to revisit the question of increasing our staff.
Why do you say that?
The last time we talked about it was in June, 6 months ago, and our orders have tripled since then. Everyone's maxed out, and we can afford to hire a couple of people.
What is probably true about the company? Number 10.
Did you ever learn to play an instrument?
I learned to play the piano as a child, but I haven't played in a long time.
Why did you stop?
When I went to university, I moved away and left the piano at home.
What happened when the man went to university? Number 11.
Are you reading Dr. Walker's article? We're not discussing it for another week.
I know, but I had to read an excerpt of it for a different class the other day, so I thought I'd just read the whole thing.
I hope you remember what it's about by the time we talk about it in class.
Me too. I'll go through it again quickly next week.
What does the woman say about the article? Number 12.
How about this for your niece?
I'd prefer something without so many bells and whistles. Something like the toys we had when I was a kid.
That's fine, but remember, you're buying the toy for your niece, not for you.
What kind of toy does the man want to buy? Number 13.
Are you ready for tomorrow's test?
I hope so. I've studied every night for the last week, but to tell you the truth, I'm just not very good with numbers.
Well, if you've been doing your homework and studying, I'm sure you'll pass.
I'm hoping to do better than pass, but we'll see.
What are the speakers discussing? Number 14.
Professor, the bookstore is out of the text for your class. I was wondering if I could borrow a copy so I can do next week's assignment.
Really? They were out of books?
Yeah, and I talked to several other students who had the same problem.
In that case, I'll send the reading to the whole class. I'll email the bookstore as well.
Why will the professor contact the class? Number 15.
What do you think about this year's team?
I think they'll compete for a championship.
But they do have a lot of new players and a difficult schedule. That might make things difficult for them.
Yeah, but they're my favorite, so I'll support them, win or lose.
What are the speakers mainly discussing?
Number 16.
Did you hear the weather forecast for next week?
Yeah, I'm nervous because I'm supposed to fly to Texas on Wednesday to visit my sister. And if my flight is canceled, it might be days before I can get another one.
That's happened to me before. Such a pain. But I bet you'll be fine. I don't think the snow's coming until Thursday at the earliest.
What does the man describe as annoying? Number 17.
What seems to be the problem?
I went hiking this weekend and now my legs itch badly.
You must have touched some poison ivy. Here is some cream to stop the itching. It won't work immediately, but in a few days it should stop itching. If it isn't gone by the end of the week, come back and we'll try something different.
Thanks, doctor.
When should the man probably feel better? Number 18.
Is the air conditioning in your apartment working yet?
No, not yet. Last night, they sent an email to all the residents saying that they can't turn it on till the end of the month, no matter how warm it gets.
So it's just our bad luck that summer started 6 weeks early this year?
I guess. Maybe it'll cool off in a couple of days.
What are the speakers mainly talking about? Number 19.
Did you hear the administration banned student cars on campus?
Yeah, probably not the worst thing that could happen.
But a lot of people drive to campus. What are they going to do?
It might be a pain for some people, but really they can just take the bus. I don't think it'll be that big a deal. Besides, it'll make campus safer.
How does the man feel about the new policy? End of Part 1. Part 1. Part 2. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations between two people. After each conversation, you will answer some questions about it. Choose the best answer to the question from the choices printed in the test booklet, and mark your answer on the separate answer sheet. You should mark A, B, C, or D. There are 14 questions in Part 2. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. If you want to, you may take notes in your booklet as you listen. Please listen carefully. Now, turn the page. Numbers 20 to 23. Listen to a conversation between two business people.
Hi, Bill. Glad to see you made it to the convention.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you too. Let me guess, you were thinking of opening a new business?
Yes, I'm looking into it. I think it might be the right time, and I found a possible location in the city. How's your business doing?
We'll be lucky if we break even this year. The forecast is brighter for next year, though.
I've heard that from a lot of people at the convention this year. And that's why we come, right? To learn from each other and maybe to get inspired.
Yes, coming here each year is a great way to learn about what other business owners are doing and to get a feel for the economic environment.
And it's a lot of fun catching up with everyone each year.
Absolutely. Well, there's a seminar starting in a few minutes that I want to see, and I need to check in on things back at my office before that, so I will talk with you later. Great running into you, Jennifer.
Number 20. What are the speakers mainly discussing? Number 21. Why does the man mention next year? Number 22. What is the man likely to do next? Number 23. What does the man mean when he says,
We'll be lucky if we break even this year.
Numbers 24 to 26.
Listen to a conversation in a store.
Hello, may I help you?
Yes, you can. I'm looking for something to wear to a wedding, and that light-colored suit in your display window caught my eye.
Yes, that's been very popular this season. May I ask what size you are?
I'm a size 8.
You're very lucky. The one in the window is actually our last, and I believe it's your size.
Really? Well then, if it fits, I'll take it. I've been looking for something like that all day, and this is the first thing I've found that I'm excited about. But unfortunately, I left my credit card at home, and, I don't think I have enough cash. Is there any way you can put this suit on hold for me till tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not allowed to put items on reserve. It's against store policy. But if you can get back here before we close in an hour, then I'll make an exception and set it aside so that no one else can buy it.
Thank you so much. I'm going to run to the bank, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Number 24.
Why does the man tell the woman she's lucky?
Number 25.
What problem does the woman have?
Number 26.
What does the man mean when he says,
But if you can get back here before we close in an hour, then I'll make an exception and set it aside so that no one else can buy it.
Numbers 27 to 30. Listen to a conversation in a university library.
Hi, can I help you?
I hope so. A friend of mine was in here earlier today and saw a book that might help me with a research project I'm doing, but she forgot to write down the title or author. She just told me that it's about the history of farming practices, and it has a red and white cover. I tried searching online to see if I could figure out what it was called, but I came up empty.
Tell me more about your research. Maybe that will point us in the right direction.
So, I'm studying agriculture in North America between the years 1750 and 1800. Oh, and my friend is studying nutrition in the late 1700s. That's how she found the book.
Could it be this one? Farming during the Revolutionary War? Someone just returned it this morning. We've been so busy today, I haven't had a chance to put it back on the shelf.
Red and white cover? That's gotta be it. That was easier than I expected.
Yeah. The thing is, it's only available for a 2-day loan because it's a course text for a history class. You could always download the electronic version.
I won't need it for more than 2 days, so I'll just use the hard copy. Thanks.
Number 27. What are the speakers discussing? Number 28. Why does the man ask about the woman's research? Number 29. What will the woman probably do? Number 30. What does the woman mean when she says,
I tried searching online to see if I could figure out what it was called, but I came up empty.
Numbers 31 to 33. Listen to a conversation between professors.
I've had it with laptops in my classroom. As of next semester, I'm banning them.
Yeah, they are a distraction.
They're a huge distraction. My teaching assistant and I gathered informal data this past semester, and we estimated that at any given moment, up to 70% of my students are doing something on their computers other than taking notes or looking up relevant information.
That's similar to my own experiences, but I think it'll be tough to do without facing a bit of a revolt.
Maybe, but I've already managed to control cell phone use, so I'm willing to give it a try. And I'm going to lay out the rationale for the policy in an educational way.
Really? How?
I'm going to go over the studies that show that taking notes by hand leads to better retention of the material than typing notes does. And also all of the research that talks about the negative impact that so-called multitasking has on learning.
Sounds like it might work. I might even give it a try in my classes. And who knows, maybe you'll start a school-wide trend.
Number 31. What did the woman do the previous semester? Number 32. Why does the woman talk about research studies? Number 33. What does the man think about the woman's idea? End of Part 2. Part 3. In this part, you will hear some short talks. After each talk, you will answer some questions about it. Choose the best answer to the question from the choices printed in the test booklet, and mark your answer on the separate answer sheet. You should mark A, B, C, or D. There are 17 questions in Part 3. The talks and questions will not be repeated. If you want to, you may take notes in your booklet as you listen. Please listen carefully. Now, turn the page. Numbers 34 to 37. Listen to a nature guide.
Okay, everyone, from here you can get a pretty good view of the nest of one of my favorite birds, the blue heron. The nest is way up in that cypress tree over there. If you don't have binoculars, we have a telescope set up over here that you can use. There is one large nest to the left side of the tree, about 10 meters up. Blue herons use the same nests of sticks and twigs year after year. The annual mating ritual involves a male heron presenting sticks to a female, which she uses to fix up the old nest. See how big these birds are? They stand well over 1 meter tall, with a 2 to 2.5 meter wingspan. The males and females look identical. Look at the one perched on the edge of the nest. It's probably standing guard over the eggs, watching for owls and hawks. While one is standing guard over the eggs, its mate is out hunting for food. In fact, look, there it is. The other one is waiting in the shallow water at the edge of that lake. It's probably looking for fish, which blue herons like to eat, along with small mammals. Oh, look, up in the nest. There it goes. It's spreading its wings and flying off. Wow! Get a glimpse of those shiny blue and white feathers blowing in the wind. What a beautiful sight!
Number 34. What is the talk mainly about? Number 35. What does the speaker suggest the listeners do? Number 36. What does the speaker think the bird standing on the nest is doing? Number 37. Why does the speaker mention fish? Numbers 38 to 41. Listen to an architect talking to some clients.
Good morning. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to show you my firm's ideas for the design of your company's new supermarket. We evaluated many design ideas when planning this project. At first, we were on the fence about which one to go with. But after studying the plans from a customer's point of view, we decided on the one we think provides the best shopping experience. We also considered the cooking school that you want to incorporate, so we included a full kitchen and extra table space on the second floor. Now, I'm sure you've all been in stores where you have to walk down long rows of shelving before finding what you're looking for. I know of a popular home appliance store that's organized that way. This is a common approach for keeping customers in the store as long as possible and focusing their attention on additional items they might want to buy. But we think this type of store layout actually frustrates customers, which is why we took the opposite approach when designing your store. You'll see that our design uses plenty of shelving, but in a way that is more open and inviting. Now, let's look at some sketches that illustrate what we have in mind.
Number 38. What is the speaker mainly discussing? Number 39. Why does the speaker mention a home appliance store? Number 40. What will the meeting participants most likely do next? Number 41. What does the speaker suggest about his team when he says,
At first, we were on the fence about which one to go with.
Numbers 42 to 46. Listen to a high school staff member talking to parents.
Hello, and welcome to Coastal High School. Thank you for coming to our open campus event. Since your children will be starting school here soon, I'm sure you'd like to know about the various sports and other extracurricular activities they can participate in. We have 4 short presentations for you today. First, I'll briefly describe our athletic offerings. Then you'll hear from some other teachers who also lead programs. Mr. Morris, the Fine Arts Director, will talk about music, art, and theater opportunities. Next, Ms. Herrera will describe academic and service organizations like honor societies and volunteering groups. And finally, Mr. Cho will introduce the social clubs. Since we're a small school, we don't have many sports teams, but the ones that we do have are very successful. We offer 4 different sports programs for both boys and girls. For students interested in running, we have a cross-country team for both the fall and spring semesters. We also have soccer and tennis teams, both of which received brand new equipment last year. And finally, our most popular sport is definitely basketball. Both our boys and girls teams were the regional champions last year. At Coastal, we believe that participating in a sport is a great character-building experience, a way to develop teamwork and leadership skills. In your information packets, you'll find detailed information about how your children can get involved, and I'll be here all evening to answer questions. Okay, now let's hear from Mr. Morris about fine arts.
Number 42. What is the talk mainly about? Number 43. What does the speaker say about other teachers? Number 44. Why does the speaker mention some equipment? Number 45. What does the speaker say about participating in a sport? Number 46. What will the audience probably do next? Numbers 47 to 50. Listen to a radio report.
The Wilson Archaeology Museum here in Center City has always been one of my favorite places to visit. Ever since I was a kid, I've gone there and looked at the ancient objects in the glass cases, swords, masks, all of the fascinating artifacts, and wondered what it would be like to hold them in my hands. Well, now, groups of students at City College will soon be able to do just that. As part of a special program with the Wilson Archaeology Museum, these students will be able to examine, with their own hands, ancient Greek bowls. And, with the help of master potters, they'll try to recreate these ancient objects. The students will also collaborate with scholars from across disciplines: art historians, archaeologists, art conservators, and materials scientists, so they get the full experience of what it's like to create ancient pottery. So, how will these replicas be created? First, students will choose clays based on scientific analysis of ancient ceramics. Next, they'll form the bowls on a potter's wheel and then paint them using the same techniques and materials employed by ancient potters. Finally, the bowls will be fired in a wood oven built especially for this project. If you want to learn more about this project, go to City College's website and follow the links to the art history department. And to celebrate the project's conclusion in May, the museum plans to hold an exhibit of the students' reproductions displayed alongside the original ancient objects.
Number 47. What will the students be doing? Number 48. What does the speaker wish he could do? Number 49. What is mentioned about the oven? Number 50. What will happen in May at the museum? End of the listening test.